On this episode of Donate Lifeboat, we are in Grand Bahama and we are at the Charles Hayward Yacht Club sailing with instructor Jamie Halpin, who runs the Grand Bahama Sailing Club. Susan and I have come to Grand Bahama not only for the sailing experience, but to try to achieve an ASA 103-104 certification so we can call ourselves skippers.
Everybody should have a boat cap.
We are sailing today. Nice wind. 10 to 12.
Corey, did you know there's an SD card in here?
I probably put it in there. Probably back up. Susan. Hi.
Hi.
You practice your knots?
Practicing my knots.
You need to practice your trucker hitch.
Well, it's going to hurt now.
Our first day on the water, we practiced docking and maneuvering the boat, getting used to all of the boat's systems and practicing different styles of docking. Captain Susan. You're so good looking.
We actually want to be on that.
Yeah, we'd like to go party on that boat. What's up, guys?
All right. Let's go.
You going out today?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Broke last week. There's no time to get a spare equipment at the island.
Jamie's talking about picking up a spare belt for the autopilot. Unfortunately, his autopilot had seized up, meaning we're going to have to hand steer this whole trip. We are exiting the Bell Channel, which is home of the Charles Hayward Yacht Club, where Jamie keeps his boat. And as you can see on the horizon there's a little bit of a thunderhead building. Some wind will be coming a little bit later for sure. Today we're going out just for a little day sail. We're going to get familiar with the boat. We're going to get familiar with its systems.
There's a shoal right
and
there.
Kind of just basically click off some miles and do some learning.
5 degrees.
It's important when the person on the bow of the boat is, let's say, raising an anchor or spotting for direction, looking for shallows, that when they call out direction, that the helmsman at the back of the boat calls back the same direction, basically verifying that they have heard the order. With the wind blowing and maybe a motor running or the sails kind of flogging, it's hard to communicate. Off in the distance here, you can see a cruise ship and they are docked at Celebration Key, which is the far east end of the island. It's an area that Carnival Cruise Line has built for cruise ships to come in and out. And it's unfortunate that they don't really visit Port Lacaya anymore. And that area has really kind of suffered trying to build back since Hurricane Dorian. This deep, narrow channel inlet during tidal movement can really start to rip. You can see some current move through here. It's not real active right now, but coming in later in the day, there's probably a 2 to 3 knot current moving through this channel.
$11, $12
In the outer mouth of the channel, we're here in about 11 to 12 feet of water, and it increases. But if we were to steer right or left, we would get out of the channel and possibly run aground. It becomes very shallow. We continue to steer this course until we see a red and white marker buoy marking the Bell Channel, and then we will make our turn and head west.
Seawater, salty water.
You did that on the lake, you got a wet bed and dry it. You do that here, you got a bed.
Salty bed.
Jamie's talking about in these kind of conditions, if you were to leave that forward hatch open, you would get salt spray down into the hatch, effectively putting salt water on your bed. Salt water doesn't dry well. It ends up crusty and salty. It's not like lake water or fresh water, or what we could call sweet water, where it would just dry out and be fine. So you always want to make sure you get your windows and your hatches closed down. As you can tell, we're taking a little bit of spray over the bow of the boat here. It's a little bit rolly out today.
A little bit to port.
Can't even tell if that's red and white. It is red and white, so you can go on either side.
Okay.
If you get closer, you'll see that it's red and white. It's 4 sides.
Susan's nervous, I can tell. She's hyper-focused. This is the first time she's really helmed a larger boat in any kind of condition like this. And the boat is pitching. There's a lot of yaw. And we're just moving around a lot. There you just saw the red and white marker buoy for the Bell Channel. As we approach that, we will prepare to make our turn. We'll take a bearing at that turn, and we'll know just exactly where we're headed.
Leftover swell.
This is a bit windy for the bit winds. It comes from the north, it's perfectly smooth.
You what?
If it's coming from the north, it's perfectly smooth.
When the nose of the boat goes up and down, we call that pitch, and we are definitely pitching. When the boat rolls side to side, we call that roll, and we've got a little bit of roll happening. When the boat kind of slides right and left, that's called yaw. And when you have all 3 of these happening, you've got the perfect recipe for a little bit of seasickness. Thank God nobody got sick today. As we exit the channel, beyond the marker, the depth increases pretty dramatically. We're in about 30 feet of water now, but very quickly you can see on the horizon the darker blue sapphire colored water, and we will end up in hundreds of feet of water. If we continue further, you just kind of drive off the continental shelf and you wind up in thousands of feet of water. We've raised our sails and we are on a close reach. The main is reefed and the Genoa is rolled in to the first reef. We're making about 6.5 knots. It's a little bit rough out. Jamie is teaching Susan to steer by telltales, little yarns of string that are attached to the sail, and you watch the way that they flow in the wind.
Susan, I love you, but I think I'm going to move in with Jamie.
I will miss
Send the dogs down every couple of weeks.
Remember that weather I was talking about? Well, it showed up. Things started getting a little bit squirrely. The wind picked up to about 20, 22, and I ended up on the helm. Susan was just too nervous to maneuver and navigate the boat with extreme winds. After sailing about 20 miles today, I navigated us back to the Bell Channel and tucked us back into port safely. A few hours later, lessons finished up for the day. Susan and I went on a little adventure to Banana Beach and walked around and enjoyed the sunset. Do you ever have one of those moments that you come across something and you realize, this is what I'm missing in my life? This is that moment for me. I feel at home here. I feel at peace. I feel like my soul is at rest. And it's amazing. Not another soul on the beach. And I could walk this beach for hours in solitude and just be completely happy. It's so absolutely beautiful here. From the air, you can really get a much better scale of what damage has occurred here, hurricane after hurricane. It wasn't just Dorian. There were about 3 hurricanes that hit this island back to back over a couple of years' time. The economic situation here is less than favorable for rebuilding. Importing items that are used for construction or even food are wildly expensive. You can see the plight on the landscape of these homesteads that have been destroyed, never to be rebuilt. It's sad, really, to see the island in this condition, but I also see hope in recovery and a lot of opportunity available. The people here are wonderful. They're just the most beautiful souls. They're friendly, they're welcoming, and they're happy that you're here. I've met so many different people here, and I can't wait to get back to see these people again. I urge you to come here. Come to the island of Grand Bahama. It might not be the most beautiful island in all of the Caribbean. It might not have the best resorts, but I'll tell you, it's got the most amazing people with the biggest hearts that I've ever met in my life. Recovery here will be a slow process, but there are entrepreneurs on the island doing everything they can to help bring those tourism dollars back. If you're looking for that beach where you feel like you're the only person in the world, come to Grand Bahama. If you're looking for sailing lessons on the open ocean, on some of the most amazing blue water you're ever going to see in your life, come down to the Grand Bahama Sailing Club, meet with Jamie, and take a week's worth of courses from him. You'll thank me afterwards. The island of Grand Bahama is 96 miles long and 17 miles wide. In a week's time, adventuring, you can see just about the entire thing. It's got some amazing diving and snorkeling locations, and I've seen parasailers out on the ocean. I can't even imagine that view. It's got to look something like this. I think I mentioned Jamie teaches the local youth sailing here at the Grand Bahama Yacht Club, and we ran into a couple of boys that had been out spearfishing and snorkeling. The kids are amazing people. They're so friendly, and they'll talk to you for hours about island life. I could hang out with these guys all day. The snorkeling on the island, absolutely fantastic. Among some of the best I've ever done. This was Susan's first experience snorkeling, and I'm pretty sure we've got a dive certification in her future. She absolutely loved being under the water. Look at this. This is a super endangered elk horn coral. They are not doing well in these warmer Caribbean waters, and they are super endangered. It's amazing to see these things alive. All of the underwater camera footage was filmed with an Olympus TG7. Not a sponsor yet, but we'll see. Jamie had a French press coffee maker on board his boat. And I gotta tell you, I think one of my very favorite things in the entire world now is making a powerfully strong coffee on the boat in the morning. First thing I do, and then go up on the deck and enjoy it and just look at the scenery, feeling the cool morning breeze as the humidity starts to rise and the heat of the day begins to build. It's fantastic. It really makes you feel alive being here. Our first night on the boat, Susan and I did not sleep much. You feel every movement, every creak, and every little sound that the boat makes when it's swinging on anchor keeps you kind of alert. You kind of sleep with one eye open, just kind of wondering if the boat's going to drag or break free from anchor. I was a little nervous, that's for sure. Jamie shows up at about 8 o'clock this morning, and we are ready to begin our lessons for the day. These classes are pretty intense, and generally we go from 8 or 9 in the morning until we can't do anymore, until we're really quite exhausted. There's more than one day where my eyes just kind of glazed over, and I told Jamie, hey man, I am not absorbing anymore today. It was pretty awesome. What an amazing experience.
Okay. Good morning.
And the hull provides enough insulation and a big wad of glue that as it warms itself up, the water doesn't take the heat away. So it tends to be a little happy.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd leach it right out.
The other one is actually water.
Commodore Susan.
I'm not even sure what we're talking about here. Leaching and glue, I don't know. But I have to tell you, this is an immersive experience. Even though the first 4 nights we stayed at the Airbnb, the 3 nights we stay on the boat, the entire time, it's intensive. You are living the sailboat life. You are on the boat. You're learning about the boat. You're learning sailing things, sailing terms. It's kind of nonstop. And there was more than one occasion Susan and I looked at each other like, oh my God, this is so much. We are thrilled and elated that we passed these courses, ASA 103 and ASA 104, gaining us a bareboat certification skippership each, which allows us to charter a boat up to 60 feet, pretty much anywhere in the United States and somewhat around the world. It's a lot, and it's not for the faint of heart. This kind of lifestyle for this 10 days we were down here doing this, it kind of beats you up. It's rough on your body. We were sore about every day, but it's an incredible learning experience, and that's what life is all about, is learning and these amazing experiences. We built a wonderful friendship with Jamie. He's an excellent instructor. He is firm, he is kind, he is patient, and I think we will be friends with him for the rest of our lives. I can't wait to go back down and spend some more time with him.
They swim underwater.
Got 2 feet.
I can see the shallows right and left.
Now, yeah.
That's great outfit.
It's an absolutely gorgeous day on the water today, but the wind is a little bit light. So we ended up motor sailing all the way down to the west end. I believe it's about 28 miles down to the west end, and that's where we will anchor out, and all 3 of us spend another night on the boat. We've successfully tested and completed the 103 portion of this class. And here, Jamie is showing us the trucker's hitch, the only knot that you need to know for 104. It's a pretty complex knot. Actually, several knots make up this knot to lash something down to the deck effectively.
Responses start getting kind of
Just breathe and relax. You can kick back and put your feet on the wheel and steer. You're going to be fine. Super light wind. Oh, yeah, sitting there that long really raked my back.
Oh,
Yeah.
Climbing on
Indeed.
rock, I always wore a helmet.
Was. Oh, that seems wise.
It's quiet out here today, and it's still a stark contrast from yesterday's 25 to 30 mile an hour winds. We've got a nice little breeze that picked up. We've turned off the motor, and we are under sail. We're close hold, making about 5 knots. And it's a great time to learn. You know, the boat's kind of taking care of itself here. Without autopilot, we have to helm it constantly. And we've been taking turns doing that. but it's quiet and it's a good learning experience. We've slipped just off the continental edge, and out here we are in about 1,200 feet of water. The deep sapphire blue color of the water is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It's hard to see here, but there are flying fish that pop up out of the water and glide for a couple of hundred feet and then splash back down. It's so cool. The word peaceful barely describes the way it feels out here today. It's almost like part of your brain just switches off. You're focused on what you're doing, you're paying attention to the situation, and that's all that really matters. I feel at home here. I'm very comfortable. Something about this seems incredibly familiar. I remember the feeling as we were exiting the Bell Channel that this feels like my childhood. It reminds me of my time in Naples, Florida, taking the dinghy out all by myself. I love it here. I could do this every single day. My soul is happy. About 6.5 hours later, we drop our sails and we motor into our nice, quiet little anchorage. This is a sleepy little canal that was once supposed to be a golf course development that just never happened. As Jamie stated earlier in a conversation, he says, Grand Bahama really is a place of broken dreams. Big ideas that just never really work out. I kind of like that about this place. It's quieter, it's less developed, there's less people, and it's just kind of wonderful to be here. On the hook again for another night, we settle in as the sun goes down. We've got a couple of neighbors on either side of us, and we can't wait until we see what tomorrow brings.
Go nowhere.
Home sites available. 1-800-Hurricane Central.
Transformers everywhere.
Wow.
Our electricity for the houses is never back out. Beachfront property.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm walking in flips because it beats barefoot on pavement.
You just sit on the beach, man. Sit down on the shoreline. She needs to get her feet on.
We're snorkeling today at the west end, and it's much shallower, and the water is much warmer, and you can see a stark contrast from diving down near Port Lacaya with the deeper water. As we make our way back from the west end, Susan is the one doing the majority of the charting. This was one section that we both struggled at on the test in ASA 104. Jamie was very reassuring that we would learn this stuff. It's not exactly easy. There's some math involved and some conversions and some fractions. But really, once you've done it a few times, it becomes a little more natural and a little bit easier and really kind of fun. It's another light wind day today, only blowing 5 or 6 knots. We're definitely going to end up motor sailing back all the way. I'm hoping that the wind will pick up, but doesn't look promising.
You get to that mark, steer 240.
240.
Yep. Yeah. That's hard.
Yeah, and the more important thing is that
This is a hand-bearing compass, and it's one of the tools that we will use today to help plot our course and find reference to points on land so we know where we are. We've got the mainsail up, and it's helping to just kind of stabilize us. We're sailing downwind, kind of running, and it's filling out pretty nicely. It's helping stabilize the boat from rocking back and forth. Have I mentioned that I love this and that I could do it every single day? It's just fantastic to be out here on the water. It's so beautiful. It's so blue. The blue water meeting the shades of blue in the sky. It's absolutely incredible. It's breathtakingly beautiful. Quite a few fishing vessels out. It's really cool, the ones that transmit on AIS, which is a digital system to help see each other basically with radar. You can find these boats on the chart plotter and you can tap on their information and you can see the name of the boat, their current heading, and all sorts of useful information. Out on the edge like we are, looking ashore, you can see some of the destruction from Hurricane Dorian and the other following hurricanes. There are entire hotels that are abandoned. There's million-dollar properties with no windows, no doors. People have just walked away from these properties. Gorgeous properties right on the water. And you have to imagine how these people felt when these places were destroyed and what it meant to them to lose these places. And it's just kind of unimaginable unless you see it in person. Jamie's feeling a little ambitious, and, well, I asked because I have one and I want to know exactly how to use it. So he climbs up on deck in this light wind day and he rigs up a whisker pole. This whisker pole attaches to about mid-mast, and it's meant to hold out the genoa so we can run downwind, essentially, creating more space for the wind to make contact with to give us more pushing power downwind. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't just a little bit nervous here with him up on the deck with this whisker pole kind of waving back and forth. Even though we're in light wind, that sail is huge and there are thousands of pounds worth of pressure pushing it against this sail. And should that pole come loose or begin to swing wildly, it could knock Jamie right off the boat, or it could really injure him severely. Jamie is giving instruction on how the whisker pole would normally be rigged with some guy lines, essentially holding it in place a little bit safer. It's rigged really today for a short day sail, but if we were on a long passage running downwind, we would rig this pole and it would stay in position quite readily, doing its job really a little safer. It might not look like it, but running downwind on a light wind day like we are is actually one of the harder points of sail that there really is. It's hard to keep that mainsail from jibing because there's not a lot of wind to work with.
The main is going to jibe. You're going super, super low.
He's
talking to you. Turn right. There you go, right there.
Gently.
Yeah, little movements,
Okay.
remember?
No, that's enough.
Little bites. Little bites.
Okay. Now, Brian, look at the masthead flying. Get rid of the phone and look at the masthead.
Yep, I see it.
So, we're actually broad reaching.
What's going on?
What you cooking in there, brah?
Well, we're down in the galley and I'm making some tostadas tonight.
Yummy. Brian's tostadas are always amazing.
So in the Bahamas, you can't buy refried beans. At least I haven't found them. So we had to buy pinto beans. And then I found a pinto bean seasoning. I threw some Rotel in there. And then I used the bottom of a can to smash my beans.
You have to get real creative.
I'll cook it down a little bit, get that moisture out of there.
Nice. All right. While Brian is busy in the kitchen, I'm just going to swing around here and show
him that trawler.
Show you the sky. Oh, me spilling my beer.
We got neighbors tonight.
Yeah, it looks like we got some neighbors anchoring next to us tonight. Beautiful sunset.
He's so bad with lens.
You're lucky I didn't just throw it into the water, because that's
kinda
generally
her
what
normal
I do.
thing.
I use a camera holster, so I just throw it into the holster and it sits in the bottom.
Yeah. She
Oh, that's pretty.
I can't tell you the amount of times I've had to replace lens caps.
I go through lens caps. It's like
Today we're kind of checking out our last few things for ASA 104 certification. Susan's going to practice a little bit of anchoring. We've done some man overboard maneuvers, and we've done our charting and plotting courses. And we're just kind of enjoying the day today. And a little later, we're going to slip out and do a little bit more snorkeling. It's going to wrap the day up for us. And tomorrow we fly out. Hoisting the anchor. We just had lunch on anchor. It's still out today, not much wind, and it's flat, making it really kind of hot out here, and I can hardly wait to jump in the water. You can see the bottom clearly. We're in about 8 feet of water. Susan seems to be struggling with the anchor chain. I don't know what is going on up there, but this seems to be taking forever. Normally, I would be chivalrous and I would pull the anchor, but she actually has to learn this stuff.
Yes. Dropping the anchor. Anchors away.
Susan has successfully hoisted and re-anchored, and actually the term anchors away is hollered when the anchor is coming up and it's left the ground, letting the person on the wheel know that the anchor is no longer in contact with the undersurface and the boat is floating free. Here's a little flashback. When we were shopping in Port Lacaya, Susan needed a hat. This is actually, I think, our third or fourth day on the boat, and we stopped into this cute little market while we were having lunch. Go again. What's your name?
Tia.
Tia.
From Miss D's. Welcome to the Bahamas.
Oh, good. Thank you. It's wonderful here. So this is the Port Lacaya area, and we stopped in to get some lunch at one of the local hotels. Pretty good mahi fish sandwich. Port Lacaya really got banged up bad with Dorian, and you can see here, this is the marina, and most of the dock is unusable in such great disrepair and damage from Dorian. And there's just not the funds available to rebuild this. It would, run into the tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to fix these boardwalks and walkways. And the city doesn't have it. At least that's what I'm told. I know the local government certainly has its own level of corruption, like most of these island countries do, and that's unfortunate. There's a definite split between kind of the wealthy and the not wealthy, the haves and the have-nots. Not so much of a middle class. Here's some of the hotels that are recovered and doing quite wonderfully, and they're really beautiful establishments. So I definitely recommend, if you're coming to Grand Bahama, if you're not in an Airbnb like we are, we stayed at the Echo Lounge Airbnb. It's privately owned by a Bahamian citizen. I am all about that. Helping support the locals with their own little economy. Yeah, do that. Absolutely. But if you don't, absolutely come to Port Lacaya and stay here and help infuse this area with some tourism dollars. The reason this location is really kind of blighted and why the tourism dollars don't seem to be flowing quite as much is the cruise lines no longer come in here. They've built Celebration Key at the east end of the island, and it's kind of on lockdown. The tourists stay there and spend their money there, and locals aren't even really allowed to go into this area. It's kind of gated off. It's private for Carnival Cruise Lines. And it kind of sucks because all the money goes right back into Carnival's pocket instead of into the local economy. So not cool. I'm not down with that.
I made that.
Sunscreen jumped out. I just breastfed. I'm actually.
Cheers to you.
Cheers. Cheers. Something.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh, I had forgotten that I had recorded this footage and put it in here. This is Hugo and Alexia and their baby. And they're former YouTubers, and their channel was called Pirate Life Adventures. You can check them out on YouTube. They kind of quit filming, I think, a couple of years ago. But we ran into them. They were overnighting in one of the little coves that we were practice anchoring in. And they invited us on board, and we had some drinks, and then we ended up all getting together later that evening and went out to dinner together. We had a fabulous time.
Yeah, we're gonna put this dinghy on the deck.
We don't have davits, so we're learning how you get the dinghy out of the water without davits.
We don't have the fancy 47-foot boat.
Well, even with a davit, when you go far away, you gotta lift it in front. So.
Yeah.
Teacher.
You could do a little grocery shopping?
Hugo and Alexia are French Canadian, and oddly enough, they are performers for Cirque du Soleil. That's how they met. Last time I was talking to them, they were on their way to the Berry Islands and waiting for a weather window to continue on further from there.
Looking good, my man.
My wing is swollen and it was the first time I tried it. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got to meet these really amazing people. I mean, what a unique couple. Cirque du Soleil and sailors that have traveled the world, not the kind of people you meet every day. I hope to keep in touch with them. We talk every now and then on the WhatsApp app, and they're out there sailing the world, living the dream. Alexa, Hugo, if you see this, all the best on your journeys to wherever you travel. Love you guys. I hope one day to run into you again on my own boat. Well, I've got to wrap this up at some point, and we're about 50 minutes into it at this point. I want to say thank you for sticking around and watching. This is some footage of us at Gold Rock Beach, and I tell you, we just had the most phenomenal time on this. I guess you could say it's a vacation. Education? Edge of vacation was maybe what we want to call it. ASA 103 and 104 are no joke. It is a bundle to learn. Originally, we had intended on trying to tackle 105 at the same time, and about 5 days in, we talked to Jamie and said, you know what, this is going to be too much. Please take a minute, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave your comments below, ask your questions below. You're going to find some links in the descriptions to the Grand Bahama Sailing Club, to the Airbnb that we stayed at, and probably some more information that I'll put down in there. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. This was a stellar experience. That's what life is all about. Thanks.
Feet in the sand, ooh, so free, so free. Palm trees sway, just you and me. Waves are calling, it's begun. Living life on the island in the sun. Dance, dance under the sky. Feel the heat, just you and I. This is our perfect getaway fun. Forever on this island in the sun.
This is a Susan eyes glazed over moment. Jamie is trying to show her the trucker's hitch for I think the 12th time, and she is at the end of the day and at the end of her rope. I love you, babe, and I couldn't be more proud of you. skipper.
Laughs are shining everywhere.